Good morning, everyone. It's 3 days before Christmas, and I know a lot of us right now are starting to prepare food and treats ahead of time in their kitchens, and I'm going to start today preparing one of the treats that I'm going to have on Christmas Day, and that is chocolate cherries. I've never made them before, so this could go any which way, who knows, but I hear you need powdered sugar. I've put some in the bowl already. I bought, naturally, the maraschino cherries. I chose the ones with the stem on them. I've got some softened butter, and by the way, this is plant-based butter. I have my colander to strain the cherries, and then I'm going to dry them. Once they're nice and dry, I'm going to add them to that powdered sugar, and I'll put a little bit of the butter in with the powdered sugar to make like a creamy sugar kind of coating for the cherries to adhere to. All right, that's the way it's supposed to go. And then when the cherries all have a sugared, creamy coating on them, I'm going to stick them in the fridge to harden up, and then I'm going to work on getting my chocolate melted. Now, my microwave went kaput, so I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way by using a double boiler. And I improvise with that too by using 2 pots. So, we know what we have to do. Let's get this show on the road and see what happens. Okay, in goes that butter. And you know what? I may just add a tiny bit of water to help get this all incorporated. Let's see how that works out. Yep, that did the trick. A little bit of water to the rescue. And now we're getting that buttery, sugary, creamy inside when you bite into a chocolate cherry and it oozes out that cream. I'm going to put down the camera with my one hand so I can hold the bowl and get this creamed up real good. I think that's exactly where it should be. Okay, as you can see, I've opened up the cherries and I put them in the colander, strained them, but I didn't throw away that delicious juice that the cherries come in. I don't know what I'll do with it, but it was certainly too good to throw away, so I had an old container from gelato, I believe, and rinsed this out, and I saved all the cherry juice in here. And we'll do something with it, I don't know what. But in the meantime, I'm going to pat the cherries dry, and then I'm going to place them on this dish. Well, I've got all those cherries drained, and now they are drying the rest of the way on a couple of sheets of paper towel. And don't mind the noise, I'm having a hot flash. Once the cherries are nice and dry, we're going to add them to the mixture that I just made, and hopefully they will coat them perfectly. Let's see what's next. Whew, it's hot in here. Well, it kind of worked. I'm going to put them all on a dish, and then I'm going to refrigerate them. If they need another dunk into the mix, then we'll do that. Let's see how they look when they dry. I'm going to continue on and get all of these cherries onto the dish. Some of them don't have stems, but I guess that's okay. We'll see what happens. Nutty, come on. Come on. Whoop. He's happy. Man, it's freezing. Okay, I have all of my little baby cherries coated with the sugary mix. Now, if you look at this first little dish, and remember there's some that don't have a stem, but look at how these look. They're coated, but kind of ratty looking. I don't know. And then I did more, and they got a little bit better looking. See? A little bit smoother, Not so like crunchy around the edges like that one. A little bit better, right? And then look at this one. That's the last one there. Now, doesn't that one look the best? So my advice to anyone that's going to make these little baby cherries is don't fret if your first bunch come out like that, because practice makes perfect. And there's the proof. I got better with every dish I did. Now, let's see what I do when I get out a double boiler and start melting that chocolate. So cold. Here, babies, I'll help you out. It is so freezing out. It's like 23 degrees for the high today. I hope that helps, little babies. I'm freezing. I gotta go back in and make the rest of my cherries. Stay warm. Come on, Nutty. I got the rest of your peanuts on the porch. Come on. Wow, it is cold. Okay, I'm back and I'm ready to melt the chocolate. Now, my microwave went belly up. I do not have a double boiler, so I'm improvising with a pot in a pot. And in the bottom, I filled it with water. I'm gonna heat this up. We're gonna melt some chocolate. Hopefully I won't burn it. Okay, here goes nothing. I've never made chocolate cherries in my life. I have melted chocolate though on occasion, but in all honesty, it didn't come that good. So fingers crossed, and we'll have melted chocolate in a couple of minutes. Hey, it's melting. I just hope I don't burn it. It's hard to do with one hand, but I just wanted you to see it is melting. I'll be back in a few. And there you go, gang. I did it. I'm so happy I didn't burn the chocolate. Now let me go get those cherries out of the fridge and we'll dip them before this gets hard. Alrighty, I've got the first cherry in there. And it's going to be hard to do with the one hand, like I always tell you. Maybe Santa Claus will bring me a tripod, who knows. But in the meantime, I'm going to do the best I can, and I'll show you the results, whether they're great or crappy. I'll be back. Well, hey now, look at that. That's the first little cherry. That's the little tester cherry. And look, it looks pretty good. And this was the tray that I did, the very first dish I did, where they didn't look that great. But they're all dressed up in chocolate now, and that looks sweet. I'm going to keep going. Would you look at that? I kind of really did it. They really look good. Now, this is only one small dish that I did just to show you how they're coming out. And some are better than others, but let's face it, it's done in a kitchen that's an everyday kitchen, and I don't make candy. And so for being a non-professional and it being my first time I've ever done it, they kind of look good. And they look really festive too. I'm going to finish the rest at my leisure, but I wanted you to see that it's really easy. I was a little anxious. I never made them. I didn't know how. But look, you do it and you have fun, and it just works. So drop the fear of making candy, because I certainly had it, and just go for it. And it's going to be good. 2 more days before Christmas, gang. We're getting close. Finish up that cooking.